this video, I want to go over a number of examples of different YouTube thumbnails and go over pros and cons of them and what I think of them. So it helps you shape how you create yours for whatever your brand is. And I'll start with this very famous one that is basically, this is not yellow, and the whole thumbnail is yellow, and it became very famous. You can see it has almost 20 million views now. I haven't actually never watched the video. Most people have never watched the video, but a lot of people know about this video because this is not yellow and it's exactly yellow. So it got a lot of clicks. Now there's also like parody videos like this is yellow, obviously from a different channel that were not as successful, only 3,500 views. So really, this is the video. But it's clickbaity because again, nobody actually cares about the content of that video necessarily. They just now want to know this yellow or not. So if you're clickbaity, even though this got a lot of views, if the video is not about that, then nobody cares about what's in the video. So this video will get very little actual engagement. And if you're trying to build a business, or build a brand, most of those views will be a waste. Of course, if you're running ads, it won't be as much of a waste. Although I can't imagine too many advertisers trying to bid highly on a video that doesn't have too much interest beyond this little hyped up thumbnail. Now, let's look at different thumbnails. I know that many students in my courses have cooking channels. So let's look at cooking. Now, this guy, Sam, the cooking guy, which is the first result after the ad. So I'm just going to scroll past the ad. He's got a great, catchy, interesting thumbnail with good text and his face and the burger. It's very intriguing. It's kind of clickbaity, but the problem is that his text is covered by the timestamp, which is not too problematic because even though that word is blocked, we can guess it, but nevertheless, that's the error. Like, you shouldn't have put it there. Although in his case, where else would you put it? So it's tricky. Now, this is a thumbnail which is not very good, Gordon Ramsay. But Gordon Ramsay, he can get away with everything because he's a TV personality. His own face is the brand, and people will click on it just because it's him. So there are some problems with this thumbnail, like he's not looking at the viewer. He's a little bit too small. There's a lot of clutter. But at the same time, who cares because it's Gordon Ramsay? So if you're that status, you don't care. But most of us have to create beautiful thumbnails like this one, 1333 kitchen hacks. This image is really cool and interesting. I don't exactly know just from looking at the thumbnail what this red stuff is, but it's actually intriguing and it's interesting because there's symmetry in the video. But a video like this, even though it was successful, it could be enhanced by some arrows, some funny face or something like that, just because ultimately I actually have no idea what I'm looking at. It's kind of an egg. So it's pretty to look at. It's intriguing to look at, but it could be even better, in my opinion, of course. I'm just one person looking at it. Now, the next one also, sharpening knives, also a successful video by this guy, Sam, the cooking guy. He looks like he's extremely good at SEO because he's dominating this whole cooking niche. And he does have 2 million subscribers, so it's something that you take years to get to. But see, this thumbnail could be better because he could put his face in there. He could do something funny with the knives in the thumbnail. So yes, he has text that, by the way, there's a couple of letters in the word knives that are in white and have a white background, so it's not the easiest to read. So it's not perfect, but he got away with it because it's good enough. But the better you make this, the more views you'll get. Now the next one, the steak. It looks like a good steak, but it's not that exciting. And on the top right, it's a little blurry. So again, doesn't have text. It doesn't have anything that's too eye-catchy. It's kind of just, it is what it is. So it's a nice picture, but it's not anything extraordinary. And a lot of these videos, they're successful, but it just goes to show that you can always do a little better because there's a lot of things right about these thumbnails. It's just that even some of the very successful YouTubers, they can do things better. For example, this next one, Rosa makes varnishkas or varnishkas. It would be better if the same person was looking at the camera instead of slightly away. It would have also been better if the text was bigger. It would have also been better if her head wasn't cut off, right? It's tiny, tiny little things, but there are so many of these details that now that you know about them, you'll get them right. Now, I also know there's a lot of people doing yoga videos. So let's look at yoga videos because those are more visual even. For some reason, all across my YouTube courses, there's like a ton of people doing cooking videos and yoga videos. I don't know why those are the themes. Now, this one about stress relief, this one is pretty good. Almost perfect. The text is clear, very little text, but exactly what I would want. There's symmetry in the photo. There's good use of color. Very nice. The only thing I would do is this person, of course, they're doing yoga, so they're relaxed, but I would like them to make more eye contact. This person on this picture, their eyes are closed, which is not great. If they made eye contact with the viewer, it would have been even better, although this already does great. Kind of a similar issue with the second one. The person doing there is looking away. Why not be smiling to the camera? This person is kind of smiling, but they're so tiny in this picture that it kind of loses the effect of smiling. So I'm curious why nobody here is looking at the camera smiling. If I was making a yoga video, I would want to be warm and welcoming to it. So these videos, they have really good thumbnails, but even so, still there is some room for improvement. So whatever videos you're creating, try to use all these elements about the copywriting, about using color, about using facial expressions, maybe some humor, maybe connecting with the audience right from the thumbnail, having a clear and clean thumbnail. All these elements, they're really hard to get in one thumbnail, but if you can do that, your thumbnail will be like a top 1% thumbnail, and you'll outcompete almost all your competitors on that factor, which is actually a really important factor. Now, there's another area of interest, the make money online niche. This is kind of a cheesy niche because a lot of people who make zero money online get into the make money online niche and try to teach other people how to make money online, and it's a self-perpetuating cycle. But all the people who are starting out, they look at these videos, and all these videos, they have a lot of good thumbnails, kind of good, but they're cheesy at this point. Like this one, right? Very engaged, facial expression right to the viewer, showing money. Well, it's kind of cheesy, but it works. And then the text telling the viewer something interesting. Although in this case, it's unclear. The text is poorly written. 10 websites, free money. Really? That's kind of weird. Then there's all these other people. $260 plus a week. I don't know. Too much text. Worldwide, free, easy, no skills needed. Kind of spammy and scammy, right? These look a little too spammy and scammy. All of these promise to make some random amount per day. And I'm sure like half of them are like in their parents' closet or something. But in a situation like this, if you can be the legitimate looking one, keep all the principles, good copywriting, good connection with the audience, good facial expression, keep it clean, but don't be super cheesy like all these guys are. That would be an interesting way to stand out because probably a lot of the potential viewers want someone who looks a little more trustworthy. So those are the pros and cons of a lot of different types of thumbnails. Hopefully that gives you insight of what to do and what not to do.